Hi, everyone. You're listening to episode 57 of the Fifth Meeple Board Game Podcast. Thanks so much for listening. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Fifth Meeple Board Game Podcast. We are a group of diverse friends who offer our takes on the latest and greatest board games to hit our table. I'm your host, Daniela, the Goofy Noob, and I'm joined today by the Collector.
Hey, this is David.
The Intellectual Introvert.
Hi, everyone. This is Chris.
And always last but not least, the Deluxeifier.
Hello, you got Pete here.
Okay, guys, in today's special episode, we're having our second annual Summer Flings discussion. I think most, if not all of us, have tossed out last year's model and now have hot new replacements. But someone could prove me wrong on that. We'll see. Any repeats? We'll see. Once again, we'll see if these stick around all summer or if we'll be sick of them by fall. Playing them too much like riding the tilt-a-whirl and throwing up your corn dogs. But first, we have a topic of discussion, and I'm going to edge David out of this one. I have a topic of discussion for today. So, David's laughing already. He doesn't even know what it is. What do you guys think about major publishing companies using Kickstarter to fund some of their games and get them interested and people on board and buying them?
As opposed to like retail?
No, as opposed to just coming out. Yeah, I guess as opposed to retail, as opposed to just coming out with the game and this is the game we published and here it is.
I liked Kickstarter when it was what it was originally was. You wouldn't be able to get your game out any other way.
Like no-name people.
No-name people or really small companies or whatever to where, hey, if you want to be able to do it, that's the only way you're going to be able to do it. And so when Kickstarter was young and certain new games are coming out, that to me, I think, was Kickstarter in what I would consider its golden day.
Agree.
I guess my answer would be I'm not a super fan of it, but I understand why they do it.
Okay.
And if you can, and that's available to you, why wouldn't you do it with much less risk? I understand why they do, but by that happening and the expectations that come along with that, the little guy getting his or her game out there, I think is much more rare because people expect so much from it that the little guy can't do.
Understand.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Chris and what he's talking about here. I mean, when it comes to, I'm just thinking about one that I recently backed, because I don't back a lot of Kickstarters. I think Pete probably has the most experience out of this table. But, you know, Natera came out last year. They did a Kickstarter. We played their game at Origins last year. And I think they did it right. Like, they tried to go back to old school where they just had one buy program. It wasn't like buy all these three different channels. It was like, hey, we're going to Deluxeify everything. This is the one price point we're doing it at, and we're going to try to deliver here. And because I talk with them and I know the designer, maybe it's a little bit different there, but I do feel that because some of the companies took advantage of how Kickstarter did it and they used it as a piggy bank, it's gotten a negative rep because they were trying to fund other games and kind of loosey-goosey with, I think, some of the funds, because there's not a lot of accountability on the other side of it. I think that's the problem with it, is like if you're funding multiple games and you're a bigger company, I think some of them were snowballing it to fund previous games and maybe they had spent the money for other things. And I think that is the issue that Kickstarter actually presented. And that's why people are a lot less trusting, is because they know this now. So,
well, I'm one of those, and you're exactly right. Back in the day when they did Kickstarter, if you were doing a Kickstarter, you had one Kickstarter and you couldn't start another one until the other one was completed and fulfilled. And basically what happens is there has been, I'm not going to say the vendor or anything like that or the backer, but there has been a couple of games that I had backed that basically the company no longer exists. And it's not necessarily because they didn't produce games, but the games that they were producing, with all of the issues that we had over the past, I'm just going to say 5 years of COVID and all the other things that are going along with it, that basically the backers of the next game were funding the game that should have already been paid for because they either mismanaged it or they underestimated and all of the different things that going on. So now we have a game that I have ordered that may not come to life. Now, the good news is on that is there is a company that just picked up those games, and hopefully they will still fulfill them. One of the games that I just got that I backed back in 2020 just came, and the only reason I was able to get it was the game hit the port, but then the game company disappeared. Basically, they went under. So fortunately,
Pete drove to the port.
You're in California.
Hooked up the lift.
yeah, basically they're funding games incorrectly. And that's, I think, the thing that I don't like about the big backers doing that, because they just roll it into the next game and roll it into the next game. And because they have a big name behind them, people don't see that coming until it's gone.
A Ponzi scheme is what that's.
Yeah.
There's a movie about that. I think that's where the question came from. I heard us talking in the episode on Origins in the game fair. What exactly a couple of publishers that were, in my opinion, quite large, that were putting some games on Kickstarter, and I just kind of thought some of the same things you were just saying, Chris, of kind of edges out the little guy, and they're not really able to use it. I guess if you put a game out there and you're confident in it, and you make it, I mean, you should have the funds, I guess, to maybe if it doesn't do as well as you thought. Like, I don't know. I feel like weird about like the bigger companies doing it. It just seems, I don't know. So, all right.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
All right, Daniela, thanks for that topic. So those are our opinions on Kickstarter games and just some of the larger companies doing that. If you guys have a comment on that and you want to help me through my thought process there, I'd love to know what you guys have to say. So you can send us an email at thefifthmeeple@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on our social media. And one of the best ways to help us is to leave a review on Apple Podcasts. And if you do, we just might read it on a future show. And as always, we thank you guys so much for listening. All right, let's start these fireworks. Today, we're going to introduce our flings one at a time, then fling it on to the next person. Each of us will give a brief intro about the game. I said brief, and then hit on a few reasons why we're really thinking our flings are the red, white, and va-va-voom. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to start with number 3, and I'm going to start at Chris, and we're going to go around the table. Chris, what is your number 3 fling?
My number 3 game, I talk a lot how, hey, sometimes I use Board Game Arena as just a time killer, and maybe it's not the best game ever. I'm just playing a solo version of a potentially competitive game. But this is one of those to where it's sort of my latest time filler on Board Game Arena. I've got 117 plays of this in, and the first time I played it was late February, so a couple of months ago. So I play it a lot. BGG ranking of 1,810, but it works for me. This is Next Station Tokyo. It's a flip and right route building game. You're basically building the subway system in Tokyo. You're connecting stops with pre-printed lines, and you can't cross over those lines in the future. Once you draw them, you can't cross over them. You score points based on the number of sections in each line and the number of steps in the highest station, and then there's some bonuses available as well. Never going to make my top 10, but it's a fun time filler activity for me right now. If I just, I got 10 minutes to kill, or maybe I'm winding down at the end of the day. Designers Matthew Dunstan, publishers Blue Orange Games. BGG ranking of 7.2, but right now it's ranking number 3 on my list of summer flings.
Okay. Anybody ever play that? No?
Nope.
Is that a game where you're using is it like a roll and pen kind of game? You have like a dry erase marker if you actually play the real game?
I've never played the real game.
Oh, okay.
I think you probably do. You have 4 different colors that you're using, and if you're playing competitively, everybody's playing a different color at the same time. They're using the same cards, and it's just you're starting from this station and then that station, etc. So I wouldn't doubt if there is a version. There's 3 different versions of this game out there.
Okay.
There's Tokyo, London, and something else.
Yeah, I think I've seen this
Lovely.
out there. I've not played this either.
We should get the London one for your wife.
I stopped playing games with dry erase markers. I
I
went
thought
on
you
a
were
rant
going to
with
stay with
Chris.
my wife.
Yeah, no.
Oh, wow. All right. Thanks for your number 3, Chris. Let's go to Pete. Number 3.
All right. Well, my number 3 is a game that I've really only played once, but I am dying to get it back to the table, and it's
You
called.
had a little taste and you need more.
I did. It was really, really good, and I'm just really excited to play it. It's actually First in Flight. Your deck represents your plane. You're an early aviator, and you're trying to make your plane stay up in the air as long as possible. But of course, you have flaws in your deck, in your plane. And as you go around the board, I think it takes like 4 rounds, 4 times around the track, and you're trying to make the longest flight. It's a push your luck game, which I enjoy. It's a deck builder. This is one I know, Chris, you like to thin your deck out and kind of manipulate it. This one you never really eliminate your flaws, you kind of minimize them. So as you're building your plane, you might introduce a new flaw, and it's just a really fun game. It's was better than I expected, and I was really looking forward to this game, and I really enjoyed it. So we have to play this one.
So this is an interesting game. We actually will probably have either a mini review or might be in a battle someday, because we actually got this game from the publisher. We just haven't gotten to actually get this game to the table yet, but it is on our radar. It looks interesting for sure.
Radar, I got what you did there.
Yeah, I know.
So Pete, I don't know if you've looked ahead. I make the schedule for what we're going to play based on what David decides what we're going to talk about. I make the schedule on how and when we play it. And a couple weeks from now, both David and Daniela are going to be out of town, and it's just going to be me, you, and a fifth Meeple Dave. And I put First in Flight.
Sweet.
There's one of the two games we'll play that day. So
Yeah.
we'll get
So
it.
excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
All right. David.
We can play it tomorrow at the church event. I'll bring the game. just in
If
case.
you bring it, I will
Okay,
play
good.
it.
I'll
Yeah.
bring it. Okay.
All
Perfect.
right. Everybody's getting a little taste. Okay. David, your number 3.
So my number 3 is Core of Discovery. It came out in 2025. Designers are Jay Cormier and Senfong Lim. It was published by Off the Page Games, and it plays 1 to 4 players, but I'd recommend only playing with 1 or 2, either playing it solo or with a partner. I do play this game with my wife, so it's been fun, but if you like anything kind of like Minesweeper, this is a game where I feel like it's Minesweeper adjacent. Actually, it's like a board gamer's version of probably Minesweeper, but basically in this thing, you have this grid that's out in front of you, and you're flipping over, you're revealing different tiles, and what's under there is some sort of symbol. A lot of them will be a resource like water, and so you're going to take that resource with you. And in this game, there's different things that you're trying to do. A lot of them in the first world that you're trying to kill different minotaurs, but it's set in the comic book series World of Manifest Destiny. So if you're into comic books, I heard this comic book series is good. I've never read it, but it's the alternate history of Lewis and Clark as they explore America, but there's monsters there.
I was gonna say
And so
minotaur.
this is what you're doing. You're exploring the land, trying to figure out what's there. You're interacting with different tribes and exchanging goods to try to eliminate these monsters from the land. But it's a lot of logic rules, a lot of deduction. The reason why I like playing with a partner, it's good solo, but with a partner, I think the game's a little bit easier. You can play 2 characters instead of 1. You get a little bit more items, but the game is hard. So I just want to throw that out there. Like, this isn't a game where it's easy. I feel like this game, there's a learning curve, but once you hit that learning curve, I think you can win. I think the first 3 times we played it, we lost all 3 games, and now we're on a hot streak of like 4 wins in a row, but we kind of now understand how the logic really works in this game. But really, extra people, like the more people you have in this game, I think it's just easier to help keep the logic rules in place, because, you know, somebody might pay attention to something and make sure that every time something's discovered on that board, it's like, hey, there's only 1 stick in this row, so it can't be a stick. Where if you're playing it by yourself, you know, you have to juggle all the rules in your own head. So, but yeah, it's a great game if you're into that kind of thing.
Sounds super chaotic. Like, is there anything else you can compare it to, or no? Like, is this just
Minesweeper is a good
oh,
comparison.
come on.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how to play that. You just push a bunch of buttons on the
Oh, it's- you're
Make it
boom.
blow up.
No, I think it's a good comparison, because you have certain rules that says this is always located next to that, or that if this is in a column, then something else is in a column with it, and so you're putting those things together, and I think those change from
Yeah.
map to map, game to game. I'm undefeated at this game. I just want to say that. Only
I'm
because
determined to play
yeah.
this.
because I've only
Yeah,
played
you should
once.
play
You
with
should.
us. Yeah,
You should.
Heidi and I will
You should.
definitely let you in.
I will. All right. Number 3 for me is Thunder Road Vendetta.
Wow.
All right. This has a rating of 7.9 on BGG. It's a weight of 1.94 out of 5. And the mechanisms that are involved in this is dice rolling, die icon resolution, grid movement, player elimination. And it's a very, very heavy take, that game. So I kind of just took the words from the publisher. So Thunder Road Vendetta is a revved up restoration of the classic 1986 game. That was a great year of mayhem on the asphalt. Grab your crew, roll your dice, race your cars, shoot your guns, and try not to get wrecked. In this version, it features exciting new additions, including random hazard tokens such as wrecks, oil slicks, and more. Damage isn't merely one and done. Now you'll draw damage tokens with wild effects that can send your car careening across the board, and you'll also have more choices on your turn, assigning one of your dice to your command board to repair damage. You can nitro boost it, or you can send out your attack copter. Yes, you have helicopters in this game to fire away. So David and I played this game with a group of about 7, and for me, who doesn't love a Mad Max theme? I mean, it is chaos embodied. It's absolute carnage. This is an everyone for themselves type of game, and it is a slam of a take that game. I mean, you're shooting people, you're taking them out, like, and it's elimination too. So if you're out at a certain point on the track, you're just done. Like, you're watching. Unless you're Mason, and then you start playing for other people in our group. But I thought this was a great group game. We played, like I said, at 7. I think this would be fun at some type of family, large event, a gathering. Kind of the same idea as if you want to get people involved in like a camel up or some type of racing game. It's heavier than that game. But I would say if you like agency, this game probably isn't for you because you can, get your strategy out there. You can do what you want to do with your particular cars or your sets or anything. But after 6 people go, you may be completely sloppy on it. So again, I actually played the motorcycles on this game. David played the one and only big rig. I ended up winning this game. It felt so good. It was just such sweet victory. But it was really interesting. There's so many expansions for this. We talked a little bit about this actually in the Origins episode, just about meeting them and seeing all the different boxes and things that belong to this. But yeah, if you like this style of game, it may be something to look into. And I would it's one of these games that I've wanted to get at our table too for a little bit of time. So hopefully in the future we'll see it. It might be like Merchants of the Dark Road. We've been talking for 3 years and it hasn't gotten here. But yeah, I'm excited to play this stuff with everyone and just have a Mad Max type theme carnage ride. So that's my number 3.
Yeah. You just like big boxes. I mean, that is a huge box. I'm looking at it right now. Definitely, we had the Maximum Chrome edition, so we got all the upgrades. Box. We did build a bigger box. There's you could buy like a $20 sleeve to make your box bigger. It's even great, but I got it for free. But it's good time. So, but yeah, definitely a game that I think we should get to the table. We're looking for a good competitor to battle it actually against right now is what we're doing. So it's in the wait and see and hold pattern until we can find a worthy opponent.
Anybody else play it, Chris?
I have not played it. I'd be interested to play it. I'm not sure it's going to be my kind of thing if it's a lot of take that. But especially if David just starts attacking me and only me.
Well, it's everybody. It's a free for all. So
Danielle will be attacking you.
And I have no doubt.
I'll just kick you when you're down already.
All right, perfect. All right, let's head on to our number 2 flings. Chris, what do you got?
My number 3 had a BGG ranking of 1,810. This one has a BGG ranking of 16. So I'm kind of running the gamut here. This is a game everybody at this table knows. Most of the listeners, if not all, know. This is Castles of Burgundy. We covered this in episode 38, and so all of my opinions on it are probably in there as well as the others. It's a tile drafting and placement game. That drafting and placement is based on dice rolls. You're building up areas of your estate. You're populating your own player board, but you're drafting from a shared set. And there is a little bit. I won't call it take that, but maybe because we just started a game. Pete and I have been playing this a lot on Board Game Arena. That's what's got it back on my radar. And I just started a game with him this morning. And the first thing I did on turn number 1 was like, well, I'm taking that from Pete, and that's gonna hose him, right? But that was okay. I felt okay with it.
You just said you want to play take that games, and now you're okay with it.
But I do say that, though, because one of the things when Pete was destroying me in the last game that we played.
Yeah, who won that last game?
You did. You did. I almost got you. I caught up.
You did. I was surprised.
But what I was thinking when you were just spanking me in that last game was that, I was thinking, this feels good.
Yeah, this feels good.
No, what games are you guys playing over there?
Anyway, what I was thinking, even though I was losing, like this game is fun, even though I'm getting hammered in it. I'm having a blast playing it, right? It doesn't matter if I'm winning or losing. I'm enjoying this game. I enjoyed the little puzzle. And again, I also had that challenge. How can I get back here? What's the route I have to take in order to be able to do that? And I almost did it, but I have fun every time I'm playing this game. I'll play this multi-handed solo with myself. We're playing it online a lot. Really good implementation on Board Game Arena. Again, I've been playing with Pete. I think we made a mistake in the Meeple Madness tournament. This one should have gone farther.
I agree.
That was, if we ever do an episode on things we got wrong, I think that's one of the things we got wrong. That one should have moved on. This is
like a short episode.
No, we got a lot of things wrong. I have a list for that, but I love this game.
Let's look at the votes.
I think it lost to Glory to Rome.
Glory to Rome.
It was bad.
Anyway, the designer Stefan Feld. It was published by Elia and Ravensburger. BGG rating of 8.2. It is number 2 on my list of summer flings right now.
Yeah, I thought this one was going to be on your list just because we have been playing it, and I really do enjoy playing it on Board Game Arena because you do get that little extra time. And we talk about this a lot. AP. This is a game that you can take a look at it and take your time when you're playing on Board Game Arena. A lot of these games and you'll get to some of mine here in a minute too, but. I agree. It's really fun. There's strategies. You're kind of ganopping, trying to balance around whatever you're taking versus what I can take, what I think you're going to take. Do I take what I think you're going to think? All that stuff. It can get pretty interesting. So good game.
I remember playing this for the first time at your house, Chris, and I remember walking into it and I was like nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's not a lot of games, I would say, that right at the onset of learning I really enjoyed. This is one of the games I've really enjoyed learning, playing. I enjoyed the heck out of it when we first played it, and every time we've played it since, it's been fun. I really like this game as well.
Not your favorite, huh, David?
No, it's okay.
Okay, so not your favorite. Well, that's my number 2. I don't care.
All right, Pete, number 2.
My number 2 is La Granja. And this is a game I picked up used. And I like going after these games that are a little bit older. This one goes back to 2014. It's 263 on BGA, is BGG, Board Game Geek. So it's a little bit older and it's fallen down a little bit, but it's another one of those games that have Euro style where you have multi-use cards. And I know we talk about having multi-use cards with, 1 or 2 options. This one you have 4 different ways that you can use the card. You can use the top part of the card, the left side of the card, the right side of the card, or the bottom side of the card. And depending upon where you place that in your tableau, if it's left, it's going to get you, farm production. If you put it on the right, it's going to give you maybe some extra money. If you put it below, you get maybe a bonus that you can take once around or whatever. And if you put it on top, then you're actually fulfilling orders. So it's one of these games that's a resource management. You're trying to collect your resources, trying to fulfill these orders. And there's a little area in the middle. So it's got a little area control, which scores at the end of each round. But the thing that I like about this area control is it's not as brutal. If you get bumped out, it really doesn't hurt you because you've already scored your points. Maybe because somebody has more out there than you, they get a few extra points. Really fun game. It's 6 rounds. I played this with Dave, and it was also on Board Game Arena, and I've played it there a number of times solo. Really enjoy this one. If you like multi-use cards, David, this is one that I think you need to try.
Yeah, I own this one. Definitely want to get to the table. Looking for a worthy opponent for this one as well. But La Granja, I have nothing bad to say about your picks yet, Pete. So I think you're 2 for 2. I like your flings.
All right, good.
You know what else has multi-use cards? Glory to Rome.
Yeah.
All right, David, number 2.
So my number 2 is Hot Streak. Came out in 2025, designed by John Perry, publisher CMYK. Plays 2 to 9 players. Recommend higher player counts, kind of just like Camel Up. In this game, we play degenerate gamblers who are betting on mascot races at like baseball games and stuff like that. And so that's what we're doing. I don't know the mascot's name, but each of them has good lore. I know about that because we read some of their backstories, but there's a bear, there's a queen, there's a hot dog, and there's this one that's like a fish. But the funniest part about these mascots when you look at them is that they all have eyes, but then the human that's running on them also has eyes. So they have 2 sets of eyes, and it's pretty funny. The box itself, you're going to throw out the mat. The mat just scrolls out like a scroll from the bottom. It just looks really cool, and the mat will eat you. It's one of the mechanics. If your mascot doesn't get far enough, it'll come and chomp you. Just kind of like those old school video games where as that screen's moving up, if you're not there, the screen kills you. But just really good. Played it at Origins with Reed. Just had a really good first time. Good enough that I went ahead and ordered this game. So hopefully we'll get it in our hands soon. The cool thing about this game. It's simple fun, but yet it's a closed economy deck. So basically, at the start of the game, we will deal out the cards that we're going to play. So I think there's like 24 to 30 cards, but we're only going to deal out 10. Everybody's going to see them. They're all face up, so you can kind of see what characters go to which cards and how they move. Then we're all going to get dealt 3 cards. and we're going to pick one of those 3 to also add to that deck. So
Secretly.
So all those cards are going to get mixed up. We're going to burn 3 of them, and then we're just going to play those cards. And so you think you might know what's in that deck, but you might also not know because everybody's always spiking. And then for each consequent round, you're going to keep your 2 cards on the side. We're going to deal each person another card out of that closed economy deck. So maybe there's a card in there that did really well for a mascot. They dealt it to Pete. Pete knows this. He's not putting it back in the deck. He's putting a different card back in the deck, but we all think there's a huge movement for that character. And so as we're betting, we're maybe betting on that mascot to do well again. Mascots can run out of bounds and get out of the game. They could get trampled and get out of the game. They could get eaten by the mat, get out of the game. It's just a lot of fun, a lot of zaniness, and it's something that, to me, I can't wait to get to the table to play with all of you and other people that just aren't gamers. This is definitely a game that I think people could have fun with. And then the best part is at the end, when you get your amount of money, even if you didn't win, there's a thing at the back of the rule book that tells you what happens to you based off how much money you won in the game. Kind of like a fortune. What happened to your life after you won the $24 that you won? So it's a pretty funny game. A lot of lore, and I think it looks really cool on the table. So anyways, Hot Streak, my number 2 fling right now.
Yeah, I almost bought that as well. We played that at Origins. We came home. I almost ordered it that night. Just saying, my family's getting together. I just didn't think I'd get it in time.
Probably true.
So I figured I thought David said he was going to buy it, so maybe I'll borrow it someday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Dice Tower just did their review like on Monday, and so I don't know how much longer. I don't know how many copies they have, but I think it'll probably move fast.
You should probably make the investment, Chris.
So
he's really concerned. He just moved his phone. All right, thanks for that one. Okay, my number 2 is going to be Flip 7. So this is again Summer Fling. Rating of 7.2 on BGG. It's got a weight of 1.07 out of 5. It says it plays 3 to 99. I don't recommend 99 people. You might get 1 card. Anyways, mechanisms in this game are push your luck, score and rest, take that, and then there's some interruptions with the game as well. In this game, what you do is you flip over cards one by one without flipping the same number twice, which you call a bust. It sounds easy, but it isn't a regular deck of cards. In Flip 7, there's only 1 card, 2 cards, 3, et cetera, all the way up to 12. And then they have actually some special cards put in there as well that score you either extra points. They give you a second chance. They can freeze you or an opponent right in your tracks. And really what I love about this game is watching people either go for it or not for it. And you can kind of tell people's personalities and their play style as they're doing it. Some people will play it safe and then they'll bank their points and then they'll bust and it's hilarious. And then others will risk it and they'll try to get, what you can do in this game is if you actually flip over 7 number cards in a row, you can get 15 bonus points on that turn. And so some people, that's kind of the push your luck portion of this, where you're trying to do that without busting. So it's a pressure luck meets strategy. To me, it's an addictive card game. I taught this on vacation recently with my family, and then my sister's in-laws were on vacation with us as well, and I taught all of them. We just had a great time, and night after night they were like, can we play this game? Can we play this game? The hardest thing or the most annoying thing is the math of it, because you're playing like 12 rounds and you're going, all right, I'm thinking I'm at 100, and you're trying to get to 200. So the first person to 200 kind of wins, but if somebody is continuing their play and they get over that, you got to be careful of where the scores are. But even here, I think the last time we played here, we were kind of slamming the table. People were getting mad when they were busting. It's just, for me, this is a good time. I think it's going to replace games like Uno and some other things that I bring on vacation as some deck cards that you might play. So I really recommend this game to get it and teach it. It's a great time, and I'm really here for this one.
So you said you took it on vacation. Did your dad play it? Did he like it?
No, he did not play.
Really?
No, can't get him. I thought David, last time they came over, I was like, did David put you in the game room? He's like, no. So
yeah, no. I was really curious to hear if he did, because I know you said he's not usually a game player, but I talked when we did a show on this one just a few weeks ago that I had people that aren't game players that usually poo-poo it, and they gave it a shot, and they were in line to play it again the next day. And so I was kind of curious, because I think this is a game that it's so easy to learn, and you don't have anything invested in it. As long as you're okay with, I'm going to bust whatever. I don't know. Everybody I played it with has just had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we play this At least once or twice a week at lunchtime. The time works real well. You can do it within 30 minutes. Sometimes we can even get 2 games in. So great pick there. The one thing that I would say about the game that I was thinking to make it a little bit smoother is counting the points. And I know a lot of times we'll just write it on a piece of paper. But I was thinking if you had like the poker chips or whatever and actually just took chips in front of you,
interesting.
I think that would be a easier way to do some scoring on it and kind of give you that
you could see
poker feel,
yeah.
On how people are stacked up. Maybe if you used poker chips from Brass Birmingham or something like that go up all the way to 200, that'd be good. So just a thought.
No, I really like this game, Danielle. Great pick. This is one of the games, though, I think that doesn't actually translate well, though, to Board Game Arena. I don't know if you guys ever played on Board Game Arena. The excitement's just not like what it is when you're playing it live. Also, I think it takes way too long because, even like people, they're on a timer on Board Game Arena, but this game should be played fast, and you're just waiting around. It's one of the few games I actually think doesn't translate as well. I wouldn't actually play it or recommend it on that. I'd always play this game in person.
All right. Thanks, guys. All right. So number 1, Chris.
All right, I'm going up the rankings again. This game is ranked 16,070.
What?
But it's got a BGG rating of 8.7 because it's new. Okay. So it doesn't have enough to drive it. This is Parks and Potions. We talked about this on our Origins episode. I first saw this at Origins in 2024 when it was pre-Kickstarter. I bought it this year with all the expansions and upgrade packs. I'm going to take it with me on vacation here and play it with my family and see how it goes. In this game, you're drafting potions based on dice rolls, but then you're manipulating them based on color mixing. So if you have a red and a yellow potion, you can mix them together as a free action to make an orange, things along those lines. And then you're fulfilling contracts, which thematically is healing animals in the forest. So that's the Parks and Potions. You get points from the contracts themselves, but you also get them from 3 different set collection mechanics. It's not super heavy, but there is a puzzle to solve there. I have a lot of fun playing this game. I think I mentioned on the Origins episode, I was the past world record holder in the score here. I no longer am, so I can't even throw that, although I just did throw it out there. But I enjoy this game. Is it the greatest thing ever since sliced bread? No, but I told David when I finally decided to pull the trigger and buy it this last time at Origins, I'm like, I've had to talk myself out of buying this thing like 4 times now. What am I doing? Just grab it. I'm going to enjoy it. And since I've been home from Origins, I've had it on my table 4 or 5 times, just kind of teaching myself and playing it. So it's not on Board Game Arena. Again, it's pretty brand new. Designed by Chris Eastridge, great guy. We've met him a couple of times now. Really, really good guy. The publisher is Moon Saga Workshop. BGG rating of 8.7. Parks and Potions.
I actually have it pulled up because I was going to ask you from the Origins episode about this because I was looking at the images. I was like, Chris bought this game? This is so bizarre. So I'm interested to see how this game plays out. And I assume you probably bought this too for family play as well because you like to get your family involved.
Yeah, I think it's kind of in that middle point. So I don't know if this isn't going to be my son's favorite game. I can see my daughter playing this a lot with me. But again, I don't know what it is about it. It's a quick and lighter version of the games that I tend to like. But it's that little puzzle and again I think the color piece works well for me where you're mixing colors together and again finding that right combination of moves so that you can maximize what you're putting together.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I played this game with Chris at Origins last year. It's good to see that. The guy who's designed it and then also their little company, they're starting to bring in more. They have a Brazilian game that's coming out that I actually own, AIYE. I can't even pronounce his name, AE. But we were talking with him. They're bringing some cool games under their tent. So I'm excited to see where that small company goes. Hopefully they can do well. But yeah, it was a fun time when I played it with you. So
all right. Thanks for your number 1.
I'm surprised it wasn't Nemesis, to be honest.
I don't know when I'll ever play that again. Right, so that's the only thing. So
we're gonna battle it soon.
Okay. Well, I guess now I know. Now I know when I'm gonna play that again.
All right, Pete, number 1.
All right. Well, my number 1, I've been going back and forth. This is one I like, and then I hate it.
Glory to Rome?
Yeah. Well, no, not quite that bad. But if it wasn't for Board Game Arena, I probably wouldn't be playing this game as much as I have over the past month. And the game that I'm playing a lot right now is Ark Nova on Board Game Arena, and I'm playing it solo. The thing about the Ark Nova, I just like the challenge of it. I do like building the zoo out. It's a great game. It's a long game if you're actually playing it in real life because of the turns, and especially if you're playing with 2 or 3 people, the turns take a long time. I like playing that on Board Game Arena because I can play it a lot faster than in real life. So this is one of the games that I like it. But again, sometimes if the cards don't come out right, you're just not going to win. And I think that's the frustrating part about it. And so it's been kind of one of these games that I've been playing. I like it. I just wish it was a little bit smoother, but it keeps me coming back. I'm like, I can do it again this time, or I'll try it this time, or I'll try a different map. So that's what I've been playing as far as, I think I've played it probably 20 times in the past month. So that's kind of been consuming all my time. I don't know that I'm going to keep playing it, but that's where I'm at right now.
You got to pace yourself, man.
Yeah. I didn't know we were doing summer obsessions. I thought these were things. My goodness. Excellent.
That's hilarious. I just looked this up. Last time we played this was, as a group, was in September of 24. I scored a negative 22. Like, how? Oh, that's hilarious.
3 hours later, you're like, really? Negative? Really?
Pete, you're 3 for 3 for me, man.
Yeah, what the heck? You guys do have a love affair. Jeez. It's Ark Nova. I think the concept is interesting. My head's got to be in it for that long of a game. Something obviously didn't happen right last time. I have won this game though before, so I wasn't logged in my plays, but I did. I beat.
Sure, you did.
But you like Terraforming Mars now?
The 2,
don't you?
The 2. What?
You like Terraforming Mars now?
Yeah, I don't compare that to that.
That's what a lot of people compare it to.
Well, I'm not a lot of people.
I think we compared it to Terraforming.
Yeah, exactly. I think you need to just play Ark Nova more. I don't think you've played it enough.
I played it like 3 times.
Yeah, I think it needs to click.
Well, you can click it for me.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. I agree with you, Pete.
Chris and I are on the other side of the table.
I know.
It's all right.
Typical battles at this table.
It's all right. There's different strokes for different folks, and Pete found his.
Yeah, I might
well,
like
at least
it
for now.
Yeah, I might like it if I played it more, but I don't want to get to that point. I don't want to play it enough to get to that point. I think there's other things I'd rather spend my time on.
I don't want to like it.
Yeah.
All right. David.
That's fine. I don't care.
David's
my
number 1.
Fling right now, and not Obsession, but Fling, is Endeavor Deep Sea. It came out in 2024. It's designed by Carl Weiser and Jarrett Gray. It's published by Burnt Island Games. Plays 1 to 4 players. You could also get the deluxe or expansion to get to 5 and get that nice turquoise color. But in this game, you're leading a research institute to explore ocean depths, and you want to publish your findings. You're doing this by using action points and getting different people or workers that you're getting to take these actions with. The one thing I really like about this game is that the setup, like when we're setting up the game, is actually going through how you play the first turn, even though you don't quite know it. So basically, in this game, there's a tray of workers. They all have different, they're double-sided, so one's a powered up side, one's not. So think of like the tiles you get in Lost Ruins of Arnak. Yeah. So basically, the worker's going to be able to do something. They all specialize in something. So we're going to pass this tray around. And in the beginning of the game, you can only select a level 1 person. And then as you get more capabilities, you can select up to, I think, a level 6 person. They all do different things. You can select the same person twice if you want. You can kind of do whatever you want on that. But each round, we're going to go and pass this tray around. The game lasts, I think, for either 5 or 6 rounds. Chris, maybe correct me on this. But the gameplay is really fast. But basically, you're going out, you're taking actions. You got these little pips that you can put on the different workers and in some of the different locations as you publish findings and stuff. And so it's kind of a balance between going up these tracks. There's like 4 tracks in the game that you have to go up to. The farther you go up along them, the more points you will score on each of those tracks. And then there's different ways you can score points. There's a whole nother map that you can kind of explore if you choose to go through different options. You could publish papers and findings, like if you find a whale and other kind of stuff in the game. And the cool part is on this game is that you're building the map out actively. So when you go and you take a worker and you're doing kind of, I don't know what the action's called, but I want to say like the explore action, Chris gave us like 2 or 3 tiles. I think it's 2 tiles. You get to select one of the 2. So you can look at both of them. Maybe one helps you more than the other, and then you're placing that down, and then people are building off of that. And so you're building not only horizontally, but you're also building vertically. And as you go deeper, the tiles get darker because you're going down into the ocean trying to find things. And so I just had a really great time with it. It's one of those games where the first play that I played with it, it just went so fast that, you know, you look at it's one of those games where you look at your clock on your phone and you're like, there's no way I was sitting here for an hour and a half or 2 hours. It felt like it was 40 minutes. And this is the experience I get with this game. So I'm really excited to get it back to the table. I'm really excited to get it matched up with something here, but I think it's something that our game group will really like. But if you like chaining, kind of unlocking things, going up different tracks, kind of doing your own thing, you can kind of mess with people on the board, but not really. You're kind of just still in your own kind of world trying to do your stuff. But if somebody does beat you to the spot on the board, that could take over some stuff. There is a little bit of area control at the end based off of the scenario, like what you're trying to get your little pips and stuff into. But overall, just a really, I feel like, really smooth experience that has been burning in my head ever since I played this. So want to get this to the table soon. But anyways,
I remember correctly, there's a number of different scenarios, and so the bonuses that you're working towards could be different depending on which scenario you're playing, and obviously the way the different cards come out and the different sheets. But there's also just, hey, we're playing a totally different scenario this time. I had a good time playing. I've only played it once at Origins, but it was a good game. And as soon as I played, I was like, I would play that again. I'd play it multiple times.
Yeah, and you can play competitive or you can play co-op. So you can play the scenarios co-op. The guy who is teaching us at Origin said that the co-op mode is actually pretty hard because you have to do a bunch of different tasks and you have to kind of work together to fulfill them. But it doesn't seem like a co-op where you can actually like kind of railroad it with just one person making all the decisions, because you're still actively doing your thing. You're just kind of helping the group out to try to build your own stuff. So I like co-ops like that where, you know, there's not some person that's kind of directing all the other people. That's probably why I don't like Pandemic. But anyways, I digress. My number one.
All right. Thanks for that. All right. And last but not least, we had actually no repeats. So we all get our own flings to ourselves this year. All right. My number one is going to be Black Forest.
Oh, yeah.
So this has a rating of 7.6, weight about 3.21, plays 1 to 4. And the mechanisms in this game is all about worker placement, automatic resource growth, set collection, and tile placement. So in Black Forest, you start out with a small domain in need of new buildings and livestock. You'll travel from village to village to enlist the aid of the best specialists. Exploiting the abilities of these specialists lets you collect resources, lay out new landscapes like ponds and fields, and build a variety of buildings, which come in 4 different types. So you got to choose the right buildings, place landscapes, fire up your glass production, and expand your domain. And this resource wheel is one of the things that I think really intrigued me about this game. Was just made famous in Glass Road, which I've not played, but it returned here in Black Forest. So the 2 resource wheels that you get on your tableau help you keep track of your resources and production. And in Black Forest, this is just a really great game. It takes place in, as it says, Black Forest. And there's just, to me, a wide selection of buildings and their different effects that can be placed in this game, and then just different paths to victory as well. And I really do like this game because, for me, when I'm thinking about this game, I want to play this when I've got a couple like friends, quiet evening, you're set, you're ready to go, you want to go out there and explore this game. To me, it's a well-rounded, fun game. The turns can be pretty snappy if you know what you're doing. I know we played a game and we were just going round and round, and it was just, I don't know, it was really smooth, but it's not so, to me, it's, you can get your resources, but there are ways where you're really on the edge of those resources, so it's really tight when you're trying to get some things and not other things. And to me, it's just like a great bunch of little puzzles within this game, and I enjoy, as we played, all the different styles and the ways everybody was trying to get points and get, you know, resources and all that kind of stuff. And at the end of the game, you're kind of like all around the same type of points. You know, we're not too far from each other, but it's just, it's fun to watch, it's fun to play, and it's, I don't know, it's just beautiful on the table. I really, this is again one of those other games, kind of like Castles of Burgundy, that I'm looking at on the table going, crap, I'm going to take a long time to learn this. I clicked pretty quickly for me. The first time we played, second time was great. I think third time, I don't know, but I don't know. For me, this is a really, really nice game. It's got a smooth aftertaste and finish.
No, I agree. I like this game. So good choice, Daniela.
No, I really like this one. The production on it is great. As you mentioned, it's a very pretty board, and that's important to me too. I do like to have that good visual when you're playing the game.
You got to be attracted to her.
Well, yeah, you do. Yeah. But no, and I love the mechanics on it too. The wheel, the way that those wheels work is really unique, and I think that kind of sets this above some of the other games that are very similar in that kind of resource gathering and trying to produce things. So I really like this one.
Yeah, I think this is a Uwe Rosenberg game. I was worried before we played it. Loved it almost immediately. It's a worker placement game, but you got one worker. Right, and just moving that worker around and then gaining what's on either side of it. But I even like that mechanic to where, hey, you can unlock more things, but you got to pay for them. And I have a lot of fun with every aspect of this game. Ridiculously thematic with respect to, you mentioned it when we talked about it, you have to cut down your forest and doing all those kind of things. Yeah. Just an absolutely fantastic game. I still think, I talked earlier that hey, if we ever have a show where maybe we got something wrong, I might have got that one wrong, but only because I fell in love with Revive, which almost made my list here today. But that was a show where it could go either way. Two great games. Black Forest, you put it on the table, I'll play it.
Yeah.
Well, you put Revive back on, I probably won't play that. No, I'm just kidding. No, I like them both too. Well, that brings us to the end of this special episode of the Fifth Meeple Board Game Podcast. We hope you enjoyed our discussion on Summer Flings, and if you'd like to get in touch, just email us at thefifthmeeple@gmail.com or reach out to us on social media. Of course, if you liked our show, we'd love you to give us 5-star review and to help us grow. Thanks again for listening, and until next time, may all your flings be temporary. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Adios, amigos.
So no one's making the connection here. It's Summer Flings, so you're in the beach and your deck just keeps getting smaller and smaller, but it's still there.
No, your deck keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Oh, okay.
Perfect thruple. Okay, no, just kidding. Okay, edit that out. Okay.
I think. Wait, what?
Nothing. Keep going. So Pete just laughed. I just laughed at Pete.
Va va boom.